Toshik.
Here.
Herman.
Here.
Matzdorf.
Here.
Gilson.
Here.
Hockey.
Here.
Penkwitz.
Here.
Binder.
Here.
Sandy.
Here.
Let the record show we have a quorum. Next is the approval of the minutes from January 27th, 2026. So Chair will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Or second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Moving on to item 3, discussion and potential recommendation on composting resolution. I think I'll ask Tim to start the discussion. Tim?
Sure. So Alderperson Binder, who is a member of the Plymouth Environmental Action Team, requested council consideration of a resolution related to composting. He brought this before the Committee of the Whole November 25th. At that time, the Committee of the Whole directed staff to revise the resolution so it reflected a coordinated relationship to share educational materials on composting rather than establishing a formal partnership. Staff has revised that resolution consistent with that direction. It is attached for review. The revised draft focuses on sharing general information relating to composting basics, best practices, and available options. Notes that participation is voluntary, and the city retains final discretion over any content that is distributed or published. So again, that is attached for review. Based on scope presented, staff estimates approximately 15 minutes per week or less would be needed to support this resolution. So tonight, staff does recommend that the committee take one of 3 steps, either recommend to the Common Council resolution as presented, recommend to the Common Council with changes as recommended by the committee, or take no action. So with that, draft resolution is attached and happy to answer questions.
Thank you very much. Procedure-wise, I think I'll ask Alder Binder, who brought this up, to start any discussion. What we want to accomplish in this committee of the whole is a recommendation, as Tim said, for further action to come to the council. So with that, Alder Binder, this is your suggestion. Why don't you start the discussion off?
Okay, it's my suggestion from the committee that is, of Pete, that is working on promoting food waste composition. And just to follow up on what Tim said, our group did sit down with Tim and Jack for a little bit of time to talk about the kind of things we have in mind to get ready for a promotion. And then also we shared, in fact, we had a sample of a brochure that might be something we could use. And again, the thing about, partnership, when I made the presentation, was kind of a negative term that some people thought of. So, I think the idea of coordination, I think that's a nice word to use. And we complimented Tim, and I don't know if Jack had any hand in it too, but the alternative resolution they put together is excellent. And I think it takes care of the kind of things that our committee, Pete Committee, is looking at as far as moving forward to promote that kind of activity. And the 15 minutes per week, that'd probably be down to basically 0 as we get our brochures and signs and those kind of things for Tim to look at or Jack to look at to make sure they're appropriate for putting out to the public. And I just want to make a couple of comments about when I made my original presentation. There was a couple of comments made during that committee of the whole. One was we need to take a look at governmental units out there that are doing this kind of thing already. And if you will recall, when we had the presentation before you about what composting is all about, I gave you a homework assignment, and that homework assignment included all the things that we already had done in checking with different governmental units around us to see if they had anything going on. And there were 2 I was hoping that you would take a closer look at, because there's a lot of links in those 2. One was from Waukesha, and the other one was from Door County and Egg Harbor. And there was a lot of links there that you could actually contact people and ask them how things are going. I did that and had a better idea how it is working out there. And so a lot of the stuff we're thinking about doing as far as our promotion is to model the kind of things they have going on. So I'm hopeful that the committee, and I'll answer any other questions that you might have. We did meet with the Plymouth Review, had a nice meeting with them on the kind of, explaining the same thing to them about what we're gonna try to do as the Pete Committee. And I kind of schmoozed them by saying I thanked you for putting my presentation on the front page of the newspaper. And that was one excellent way to show how we can use the Plymouth Review to spread the word about the value of composting. And they suggested many other ways. The idea of, we're looking at May as being the blast off for our promotion. So we're gonna be doing each week in the Plymouth Review, a letter to the editor featuring some issue associated with composting. And they had a suggestion on how some articles could appear on a weekly basis related to composting. And then a neat thing that's happening in May, they put out their big addition to their newspaper of the gardening, lawn gardening and flower promotion, you know, as far as getting our backyards ready for summer. And I thought that really fits in well, nicely with what we're gonna be talking about as far as food waste composting. So, we do have lots of avenues available to promote this. A number of them are with the city. You know, you've got your newsletter, you've got Facebook page, those kind of things that we can promote it to the public. And I thought of another one on the way here. I never thought about community TV. Why don't we use community TV to have an interview with our committee to talk about composting and maybe even have an archive program on there on how you compost, simple way to compost. So there's a lot of ways to do it. We're looking at really doing a bang-up job in May. We're gonna get ready for it in March and April, put all of our things together that we're gonna need for that. And then we're gonna move ahead and hopefully the city will be part of that as far as supporting our efforts. So, any questions?
Thank you very much, Alder Binder. I would first like to make a comment that I think the resolution that was put together is very well laid out and has a lot of positive words in it and opportunity that people can participate in, both in the education process and recycling food waste. So at this point, do we have, on the council, if anybody has questions in particular of Alder Binder, I would invite you to maybe ask him at this point any particular concerns or thoughts. Anybody have any questions for John?
I don't have a question for him, but I'm ready to talk when you let me.
Alder Matsdorf.
Thank you. I don't want to see this resolution go forward. I think it's less of a discussion on if composting is good for the city and more of a discussion on should this be a resolution. And I don't think we need to do that. But
So maybe, could I respond?
This is discussion, certainly.
Well, I'll ask staff, is there, if we don't have a resolution, is it still possible for us to make use of the avenues that the city has to communicate with residents?
I think if there's no resolution, staff would continue the newsletter as we typically have, so.
And what about Facebook posting?
No, I think it would just be the standard city posts. I think,
I
yeah.
did go on your Facebook page and there's nothing except sharing stuff about the ozone from
Yeah.
another site, so.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that is going to be improved as far as putting the word out there. In fact, you know, when we do our letters to the editor, we'll all end with, you know, check with what's going on with the Facebook page for Pete. And we'll list the address for that in the paper. And all the articles that we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We'd
I
like to
was
put
just-
that.
I scrolled through for a couple of years and all you did was share stuff about the ozone and
Yeah.
there might have been one other thing, so
Yeah.
I would probably start there for getting your word out.
Yep.
Any other comments? how, we don't really take a vote in committee of the whole, but we
Mayor,
do want to give
Yeah, I mean,
direction.
one way you could do is you could go down the line. We have done motions and seconds in committee of the whole, so you could ask for a motion and a second, and then a vote. Or you could just go down the line and ask a yay or nay, and that kind of gives me staff direction.
Mayor? 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 How do I request that we put this resolution?
I'm thinking. Why don't we see if I think we need a little time to digest this resolution and the effect that it might have on the community as a whole. I think we're promoting the right thing for the community. We need to always support education and partnerships. I think there's some concern, Alder Binder, about previous postings that filter into this. And as a city, I think we have to be very careful what we put on a city website for viewing, which becomes official, in a matter of speaking. And that's my comment on it. So maybe what we could do, and I don't want to shoot it down, because I think time is important. I would suggest that maybe, Alder Binder, you look at putting this on another committee of the whole for action, so people have a chance to maybe ask questions and be a little more informed on it. Alder Binder.
How does an alderperson request that something is put on the agenda?
You simply tell the clerk that you want to put it on the agenda. So if you want to do that at the next council meeting, have at it.
Oh, I can't make that suggestion now. I would like to see.
No,
this-
you can't
I would like
make-
to see this resolution on the agenda for our next meeting and vote it up or down. We give people enough time to think about it. That's enough time to think about it.
Then make that motion right now.
I can make that motion right now? All right, I'll move that we put the City of Plymouth, Wisconsin resolution, whatever number they're gonna give it, promotion of food waste composting on the agenda for our next regular meeting.
Do we have a second?
I'll second his motion.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Go
One
ahead.
item, please contact me if you have any questions. We've got a lot of information that our committee has gone through, and we can share a lot of things with you that maybe will help you vote yes on this in our next meeting.
Any other comments? Clerk will call the roll, please.
Sandy,
Yes.
Hockey,
Yes.
Matsdorf,
Nope.
Peckwitz,
No.
Tauschik,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Binder,
Yes.
Gilson,
Yes.
And our tally is?
6-2 in favor.
6-2. Thank you very much. It will appear on the next council agenda. If you have any comments or questions, direct those toward Tim Blakely's office and/or Alder Binder. Thank you very much. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second?
We have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you.
I forgot to make the most important comment. Waste management.
I missed who did the